There are two basic types of telescopes that can be used for visible light astronomy. Reflecting telescopes, which tend to be larger, and refracting telescopes, which tend to be smaller. A refracting telescope uses two lenses that focus light into the eye. Because the lenses flip the image once and then flip it back again, the image tends to be right side up. The largest refracting telescope that was ever built was built for the 1900 Paris Exposition. It has since been dismantled. The largest refracting telescope that is still in use today is in use in Chicago. Now, refracting telescopes, because the lenses are cheap to make, tend to be available for around $40. So the first telescope that most people get would be a refracting telescope. Refracting telescopes are very good at observing things like the moon, Jupiter, or Saturn. Reflecting telescopes, however, do not use lenses, they use mirrors. They have a primary mirror that reflects into a secondary mirror that then focuses it into the eye. Reflecting telescopes can be very large. They can also have multiple mirrors that focus into that secondary mirror and then reflect it into something that is catching the light, usually a person's eye. In this case, this is the mirrors for the James Webb Telescope, so there's multiple mirrors here that are just accomplishing the same thing. Here's another picture of a very large mirror that is being created for a reflecting telescope. Refractors versus reflectors. Now, the largest refractor that has ever been created was 1.25 meters across, but the largest current reflector is 10.4 meters across, the Gran Telescope Carinus, that was a joint project between Spain and Mexico. So these sizes make a huge difference because if you have a larger mirror or a larger lens, you can see further. Now this comes down to how they're made. A refractor is using lenses, and lenses have to be ground down manually using some sort of diamond-headed device and then polished, etc., from glass. This causes defects in the glass, so you can't have a large lens without defects occurring. This is the same idea of corrective lenses that we use to correct nearsightedness and farsightedness. If those lenses are warped even a fraction of a little bit, it makes them worthless. Reflectors, on the other hand, are used using large industrial processes where they melt down metal or glass, and then they spin it in a centrifuge, which causes the edges to mount up and produces a convex lens. And they can be huge, but they're very, very expensive to make. So refractors versus reflectors. A reflecting telescope can be large, it's expensive, but gives you a much better image. Refracting telescopes are smaller, they're cheap, and they're very good at viewing close objects like the moon.
Thank you for watching. This has been Justin Higgins. Have a glorious day and be excellent to each other.